It was a funeral like any other, quiet and filled with sorrow. People stood silently, dressed in black, their eyes red from crying. They had gathered to mourn the sudden death of a young woman, Amber Smalls. No one could believe she was truly gone. She had been so full of life, with a promising future ahead of her. Her husband, Martin, stood at the front, his face pale and hollow, struggling to hold back tears. The sun cast long shadows across the grass as the casket was prepared to be lowered into the earth. And then, without warning, a strange noise broke through the silence. Gasps rose from the mourners as a large wolf appeared out of nowhere. She moved through the crowd with calm but determined steps, her fur bristling slightly, her eyes fixed on the casket. Everyone froze, unsure of what to do. A wild animal had wandered into their ceremony, but there was something oddly focused, almost human, about her behavior. She didn't growl. She didn't lunge. She simply leapt onto the coffin. For a moment, no one moved. People were too stunned to speak. Then the wolf began to claw at the lid, slowly at first, then faster, more desperately, as if trying to open it. The crowd erupted into panic. Some tried to stop her. Others backed away in fear. But one person didn't move. Martin. He just stood there, eyes wide, watching in disbelief, because he recognized the wolf. Amber had told him about her. This wasn't just any animal. This was the wolf she had saved. To understand what was happening that day, we have to go back to when Amber was alive, just weeks earlier. She was 24, bright, and ambitious. She had recently graduated from university and secured a competitive job in the city. It was everything she thought she wanted: a steady paycheck, respect, growth. But the reality was far from the dream. Her long commutes drained her energy, the pressure to perform, to learn fast, to meet deadlines. It was overwhelming. By the time she got home each evening, she barely had the energy to cook, let alone enjoy life. She smiled less, slept less, and often found herself on the edge of burnout. That's when she discovered the forest. Just beyond the edge of her small town was a stretch of old-growth woods, peaceful, quiet, untouched by time. Amber started walking there after work. It became her refuge, the one place she could breathe. The tall trees seemed to whisper secrets. The wind wrapped around her like a soft hug, and the dirt path beneath her feet made her feel grounded. She came to love the forest, but she never forgot to be careful. She always stayed on familiar trails and never ventured too far. Bears, coyotes, and wolves were known to roam those parts. Nature was beautiful, but it was wild. Then one day, everything changed. It was her day off, and the weather was perfect. She hadn't been to the forest in several days due to work and missed it deeply. She packed a small bag, grabbed her water bottle and pocket knife, and headed out. The trail felt warm and welcoming. Birds chirped above her, and the air smelled like pine and sunlight. She wandered a little deeper than usual, lost in thought. That's when she heard it. A howl. Sharp, close. She froze. Every muscle in her body tensed. Her eyes scanned the trees. Then came another howl, this one deeper, strained, almost mournful. It didn't sound like a threat. It sounded like pain. Amber felt something stir inside her. Against her better judgment, she stepped off the trail and followed the sound. Branches brushed her shoulders. Thorns caught on her clothes. She kept going. Soon, she found the source. In a small clearing lay a wolf, a large, silver-gray female, curled up tightly, her breathing ragged. Her leg was tangled in a twisted mess of old barbed wire, cutting into her flesh. Blood matted her fur. Amber's breath caught in her throat. She was terrified, but she couldn't walk away. The wolf noticed her and lifted her head. Their eyes met. A low, deep growl rumbled from the animal's chest. Amber froze. She knew one wrong move could end badly, but something in the wolf's eyes wasn't just wild. It was desperate. Growling faded into a soft whimper. That sound broke something in Amber. She slowly knelt down, inching forward, speaking in a soft voice. She pulled out her pocket knife and began cutting the wires, careful not to move too quickly, watching the wolf's body language every second. The wire was tight, the injury deep. It took time. Sweat dripped down her face. Her hands shook, but the wolf didn't attack. She didn't even flinch, and finally, the wire fell away. The wolf pulled her leg free and slowly stood, wobbling slightly. She didn't run. She didn't growl. She just looked at Amber. Then, in a moment Amber would never forget, the wolf limped over to her and pressed her head gently against Amber's leg. Amber stared in disbelief. She cautiously reached out, touching the wolf's fur, thick, soft, warm. From that day forward, they met in the same spot. Every evening, Amber brought food, meat, water, medicine. At first, the wolf kept her distance, but over time she grew more comfortable. She'd rest her head in Amber's lap, let her stroke her fur, sit beside her in silence. It was a friendship unlike any other. They didn't need words. They had something stronger. Weeks passed. The wolf's leg healed. Amber felt less alone. The forest no longer just gave her peace. It gave her connection. But one evening, the wolf waited, and Amber didn't come. She returned the next day, and the next. Still no sign of her. Confused and anxious, the wolf followed Amber's scent. It led her out of the forest, down the road, through town, until she reached the cemetery. There, a crowd had gathered around a coffin. The wolf knew. She ran forward. People screamed. Some tried to stop her, but she pushed past them all. When she reached the casket, she leapt onto it and sniffed. Then she growled. Then she began to claw. Everyone was horrified, but Martin stood frozen. He recognized the wolf. He remembered how Amber had spoken about her with such love. And now, here she was, as if answering some unseen call. The wolf's growling became louder. Her claws dug harder into the lid. People yelled, tried to pull her back, but she wouldn't stop. Then, crack, the lid split slightly, and a pale hand emerged. People screamed. Someone fainted. Amber sat up, gasping, eyes wild, chest heaving. She was alive. Martin rushed forward, pulled her from the coffin, and held her tightly, sobbing. Paramedics were called immediately. At the hospital, doctors were stunned. After a full examination, they revealed that Amber had not died at all. She had suffered a rare neurological condition known as catalepsy. Her body had gone into a state so still, so unresponsive, that even trained professionals believed she was dead. Her breathing had nearly stopped. Her pulse was barely detectable. But inside, she had still been alive. Only one creature had known the truth, the wolf. Somehow, she had sensed what no one else could. She had come not to mourn, to save. Amber recovered fully. She was changed. So was Martin. They couldn't explain what had happened. Not really, but they didn't try to. They just accepted the miracle for what it was. The wolf never disappeared. She returned often, waiting by the edge of the trees, lying in the garden, brushing against Amber's leg like an old friend. She was wild, free, untamed, but also deeply connected. She wasn't just a memory from the forest. She was family. And in the hearts of those who witnessed that incredible day, she became something more, a guardian, a symbol of something ancient and unspoken, of love that crosses boundaries, of instinct that defies science, and of a bond that not even death could break. So, what do you think? Was it instinct? Was it fate? Or was it something even greater? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to hear more stories that make you believe in the impossible, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because sometimes the strongest connections are the ones we never saw coming.